Northern Territory Rugby Union, welcome to Rugby Park. Ian Butterworth with you in central commentary. The game tonight, Casuarina and South Darwin, a round 12 clash. South Darwin, the unthinkable. Last Saturday, they were beaten for the first time this season. They went down 32-24 to Palmerston. So it'll be up to South Darwin to lift themselves because they're up against a pretty worthy opponent in Casuarina. Joining me in commentary at the moment, Damien Subert, Darwin Dragons fullback. Damien, it was a bit of a surprise last weekend, South Darwin. We didn't expect them to go down to Palmerston, but in fact they did. So really in this competition, you just cannot be sure, you cannot tip a winner.
Yeah, that's right. Palmerston been a bit patchy, so it was a surprise. Souths have been the benchmark, undefeated, and didn't get the chocolates last week. So
they did not get the chocolates. Casuarina and South Darwin tonight. Do you expect South to bounce back? But Casuarina, as I said, a worthy opponent.
Yeah, I think Cougars are actually improving. They're such a good side. You don't know what you're going to get with them, and I think South, though, that would have hurt them last week. So I reckon they'll bounce back.
I did mention at the intro that Darwin Dragons fullback, you mentioned Casuarina, you don't know what you're going to get. Well, I might say that about Darwin Dragons too, because last week, before we get started on this current game today, of course, Cougar and South, 17-7 Dragons led just before half-time last week and didn't bother the scorer after that. What happened?
I think we all just shut off. Pirates, they've been their classy side. They could score from anywhere, so I think that's what happened. We just shut off and we had our eye on the half-time and it didn't come quick enough. So.
Well, it didn't, because I think that they actually pipped you at half-time because you did lead 17-7 at one stage and then they scored a couple of converted tries and down she went and it was just boiled lollies. There was no chocolates after that.
Too many missed tackles, I think, one-on-one tackles cost us. So.
Anyway, tonight, Damien Subert, we've got Casuarina and we've got South Darwin. And as we mentioned, South Darwin lost their first game last week to Palmy. You're just not sure, are you? It's pretty hard to tip. It is Wednesday night, of course. We're not used to playing rugby on a Wednesday night, but it shouldn't affect. But I would expect South Darwin will bounce back. I reckon they probably had a few stern words after their loss last week.
Yeah, I think they would have done a few laps at training, Butters. Too good a side. I can't see him losing two in a row, not at this stage. Yeah. But
Casuarina, and I think you made a pertinent point, you just don't know what you're going to get. Joint coaches they've got, and as we see them run out, a couple of players there. Josh Phillips, of course, at the hooker's position, but Zach Phillips, he's wonderful, isn't he? At number 10 for Casuarina, Zach Phillips. Doesn't miss too many from anywhere when he's trying to convert.
Yeah, sure is, mate. Guides the team around nicely, and as you said, anywhere in the 50, if there's three on offer, he'll generally slot them. So
yeah. The forwards, Damien, Dylan Rutherford, Josh Phillips, and Owen Griggs, the front three for Casuarina. They're pretty useful. I guess Big Jack Lawrence will probably slot up there for South Darwin, but South Darwin won't be wanting, and their outside backs are sensational. They're quick, they can score. Just give them a millimetre and they'll take it.
Yeah, definitely Fijian boys, naturally quick, agile. I think they'll score from anywhere. But the thing I like about Cougars is their props are very mobile for big boys, and if they hit you, you stay hit.
You're on your backside for a while.
I know from experience. So.
Yeah, and we see we've got Setafano Kakao. He's the reigning Eric Johnson medalist, and he'll play at fullback, and Belly inside centre, number 13. So 13 and 15 are the two boys that really carve up opponents. And so what do you do? Do you actually get someone and try or do you just starve them of ball?
Yeah, you definitely try not to go up the middle of them because it's a brick wall there. So best thing is around them or over the top of them with the kick, chip and chase or something.
Sure, yeah.
If I work that out, mate, I'll do it myself. So.
Well, I watched you last week. There's still a few seasons in your body, I reckon. You did extremely well, and as we see our South Darwin, it's Setafano Kakao about to get the game underway. And we've got a scoreboard that's operating. It's all quiet. Here we go. The clock stopped with the countdown started. 80 minutes. Chris Pasika holding it up. The kick comes from deep in the South Darwin area.
Oh, great
over
kick.
the top. And it was a good kick, wasn't
Great
it?
kick.
Actually millimetre perfect and just over halfway. Peter Pauly, hooker for South Darwin, feeds the scrum, ball in dispute, over the top, and it comes Ryan McMurray. Flips the ball out. Chris Pasika has been prominent.
It's a couple of good early runs there, mate.
Yeah,
Making some metres.
at number 8.
Yep.
It's a lively affair, although we're only a few minutes into the game. But both teams, plenty to play for. Particularly South Darwin, losing their first game last week. Pasika again.
Adopted a bit of a Palmerston style here up the middle, pick and go.
Well, that's right. It's a pick and go. Perhaps they've learned something from Palmy last week when they beat South Darwin. The pick and go. South have the ball now. They will have. Is that the turnover, Damien?
It is. Yeah, a bit of an offside call, I believe. Just from the little toe there. Player offside.
Kick to touch, lovely kick, within about 15 metres of the Casuarina line. So they'll set up for the line out. Crucial. Peter Pauly will feed the ball for South. The flip out, Chris O'Leary, South Darwin. Here we go, out wide, the first run. A belly, just sliced through them. He's going to go all the way.
Hard he is too.
He is indeed. And the first try, a belly. Was that a belly or cacao?
Belly.
Yep. Chris O'Leary, South Darwin. Here we go, out wide, the first run. A belly, just sliced through them. He's going to go all the way.
Hard he is too.
He is indeed. And the first try, a belly. So the first point's on the board, and South's hit back after last week. And is that Cacao over there?
Yep.
It is Cacao to try to convert.
That was a bit too easy after the start we had, Butters.
Yeah.
Look for the Cougars to bounce straight back.
But we'll see how that goes. So after 4 minutes, 5-0, missed the conversion.
Oh, well done. Regathered off the kick there, Butters.
Palmerston. Now you expect Casuarina to hit back straight away here. Well now into South Darwin territory. Pick and go. Pick and go. Casuarina.
They'll be looking to pick and go here and draw a penalty. Yeah, there's a slight knock on.
There's the knock on. And it is Casuarina ball. Does he go for the points, Damien?
South ball, knock on there.
Sorry, South ball.
Yep. He'll be looking to get the ball out of that area.
I misread the referee. So Cooker to feed the scrum. Ryan McMurray to feed this. South Darwin putting some pressure on defensively, forcing Cougars back. Here they go. Big Owen Griggs got his body over the football. Yeah, the same man again, Chris Paseka. He's been dominant, but the advantage will go back to South Darwin.
Bit lucky there.
Yeah, looked it, didn't it? But the knock on again by Cougars. So Souths will have it again up to about the halfway mark.
I think they need to settle it down a bit. Looks like they're trying to play catch-up footy. 8 minutes in.
Cooker to feed the scrum again. Watini Cooker. Comes out the back. Souths are away. Out wide. Vinnie Men, the captain, playing inside centre. The Frenchman. Good kick. Nice high kick.
No advantage there for the knock on. Again, they're overplaying their hand, I think. They're rushing. Someone down.
So we've got the player down. That looks like the man of the moment, isn't it? Paseka, Chris Paseka. Bit of attention. He's a big man, Damien.
He is, yeah.
Wednesday night, Rugby Park. Coming up 10 minutes into the first half. Cougars 5, leads Souths. No score. Yes, we've got it. So it is South. South scored because it was Abelli that scored it. So it's South's 5, Cougars no score. Finally packed the scrum. It'll be Cooker Watini Cooker to feed the scrum. Or no. McMurray. South's knocked on. Yep. McMurray to feed the scrum. Here we go. Nice scrum. Out they go. Wide, nice kick. Zach Phillips. Phillips kicks long and beautiful kick.
Lovely.
You'd appreciate that, Damien. He's a wonderful kick. Set
Lovely.
kick in play.
Right on target.
Yeah, we were talking about him a little bit earlier.
What a kick like that does, takes the fullback out of play.
Yeah.
You definitely want to take out the South fullback.
Cacao.
Definitely.
Setafano. So, the line out, fed. Nice jump. Tim Chew. Most of rugby league, rugby union, but the unique part, of course, of the serious scrums rugby and the line out. It's just a unique part of the game, isn't it? And it's if you can master it, you can get a real advantage out of it.
Yeah, it's a good attacking tool. So in this case, looks like Cougars might have the line out inside the 22. So that could set up a rolling maul, which can eventually lead to a try. So. Whereas league's just a scrum, it's really nothing.
Well, it's not. They might as well not have it. They should have a tap.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, should have the tap. But anyway, it's rugby. It's proper rugby. Right. Zach Phillips runs the ball up for Cougars. Cougars waiting. They trail. South's leading 5-0. 12 minutes in. Cougars lay the ball back well into South's territory, and Souths have got the penalty. Cooker. The desired effect, Damien. Didn't get a lot of distance, but it was the desired effect. Why didn't he kick the other side if it was closer?
Centre field there, so... Yeah.
Doesn't really matter?
Doesn't really matter, no. Right footers like to kick to the left because of the natural curve.
Is this George Edwards?
George Edwards is out there.
But this is Peter Pawley.
Yep, Georgie looks like he's set for a hit up here. Just can't get the clean ball at the moment. I think here he comes.
Oh, big George. Made a couple of metres. A gentle giant, fortunately.
He is, yeah, definitely.
Here we go. A belly, the try scorer. And Souths hit the line. The knock on. Samika Sala with the helmet for Casuarina.
He's a player that's every year I see him, he's getting better and better, more aggressive and more technical. Good to see.
Well, he does understand the game. You would hope that he certainly, the longer he plays, the more he understands it, and he's a real asset. Now, he was just once perhaps a speedster. Get the ball to him, and if he could break the line well and truly. But now you're quite right that he does use a bit of guile.
Yeah, a bit of mongrel.
So to feed the line out, we've got Andrew Stevens to feed the line out for Casuarina. Casuarina trailing. South leading 5-0, 14 minutes into the first half.
Got an interchange coming on number 23
for
Cougars.
I only go to 22, so we'll have to find out who that is. Finally, we get underway. McMurray has the ball, gets it out wide in the direction of Phillips. Phillips outside, so he looks okay now. Chris Paseka He's the go-to man, isn't he?
Yeah, he's having a blinder so far, making some good metres.
Big Souths forwards. That's Peter Pawley in the number 2 jersey for Souths. The hit up on the far side. Approaching halfway. Still in Cougars territory. Here we go. The kick. No. Souths keep possession.
Oh,
Gee whiz, that was
that's
Vinny Men.
Miller.
He's the captain, the Frenchman. Men now goes for the kick, gets it over halfway into Cougars territory. Cougars bring the ball back and bring it back with gusto. Lovely kick.
Yeah.
Where's it go? Jake Ranger takes it. Ranger flips it inside, looking for and finding Stefano Cacao. Cacao pushes one off, goes for another one, back to Ranger. Ranger runs around, all dressed up, nowhere to go.
Oh.
Knocked it on. Just wonderful
Ouch.
defence.
That's our unidentified
That's
man.
yeah, you're quite right. We'll have to find out his name, but it was
That's
a
one
beauty,
out of the
wasn't it?
textbook there.
Yep. That'll rattle the bones. Zach Phillips.
Tough cry. Granger straight back on his feet.
McMurray waits out the back. Cougars hit it up. Now they're in South territory. Phillips.
Big George with the even up there.
Yeah. It's Willing. A change possession. And what's the ref going to play here? He's
No advantage.
No
I think they've
advantage?
Gone too sideways and brought it back.
they're not in a hurry. It's Wednesday night. It's getting late. We're 17 minutes in.
Yeah, probably a bit sore from last Saturday.
Well, you're right. It's a quick turnaround, isn't it?
yeah, definitely.
And particularly South, because they got a bit of a touch up, didn't they, from Palmerston up front?
Very physical game.
Yep. McMurray gets it out to his number 10, Zach Phillips. Phillips, high bomb, hard one to take. Cacao, Stefano after it, couple to beat, does it easily. Does he on the line? He is on the line. Good defence once again, Damien
Well
Subert.
done. Good pressure.
Chris Nurse it was in the number 7, the open side. Casuarina to feed the line out. "18 minutes in, Souths 5, Cougars 0. Perhaps the fittest team will overrun the other one, which seems to be what happens. Teams can sort of lock together until half time in the second half. Fitness tends...
Definitely. With fitness, you get momentum, and momentum goes a long way.
Sure.
South usually start pretty slow, but the back half, they're there with you. So Cougars
As soon
need
as
to weather
gaps appear,
yes, definitely.
then the outside backs
Definitely.
just split them apart, don't they?
If Cougars can score a couple of tries here early, they're in with a big chance.
McMurray gets it out again, this time to Eric Eriksson. Played some international rugby with the Philippines. Big Eric. So what's he indicating there, Damien? Was it offside or is it just a... You missed it.
Yeah,
Never mind.
missed that one, sorry.
Phillips, that's all right. Phillips to kick for touch. Made a couple of metres. So within about 15 metres of the South line, Casuarina.
This is where a good line out comes into effect because they can get that maul going.
This might be Jack Rutherford to feed the line out. In fact, they've got it. Was looks like it might have been mistimed. But the turnover, a belly for South Darwin.
Look for the clearing kick here.
Ten minutes in, South leading 5-0.
Looks like the second game in a row we've got that invisible ball boy.
Damien Subit joining me in commentary. Marara, Rugby Park. Round 12 games. South Darwin lost their first game last week, leading Casuarina Cougars after about 11 minutes, 5-0. Damien, Dragons, you've got Swampies tomorrow night.
Yep, correct. They'll be hungry. They haven't won a game yet, so we definitely won't take them lightly.
Well, it's at your peril if you do.
Oh, for sure.
I'm sure that Puru Westrup won't allow that to happen. You'll be like a cat on a hot tin roof. You'll be prowling around. He doesn't want to be the first team to get beaten by the Swampdogs.
Yeah, good old Swampies. They turn up every week, you know.
And I think they're slightly getting better.
They are.
Aren't
They definitely are.
I mean, there's the occasional blowout, which is what you'd expect with such a young group, and they're not necessarily too many mature age blokes, but you can sort of notice that they're on the right track without any shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a good junior setup, and as a kid, when you're getting flogged, your head drops, so the points, they get piled on you, and unfortunately you lose by a lot. But I think give them a few years gelling together.
Oh, without any doubt.
They'll be great.
So the penalty to Casuarina, well into South's territory, 10 or 15 metres out.
He's reversed it. Looks like it's offside.
Ah. But he did, I reckon he did give it to Casuarina, and he has reversed it.
It looks like the touchies got involved there.
Okay.
It's good to see.
Yep. Well, why not? I mean, you can't see the other side as the referee on the inside, and well done to the touchy. So kick for touch. And Peter Pawley will feed the line out for South Darwin. Once he gets over the fence and retrieves the football and gets back over the fence again. They should have gates all along, yeah. Damien.
All the kids are probably asleep. Normally there's a few ball boys lining up for their $5.
Yeah. School holidays as well.
Yep.
Could make themselves rich with a few games. And I suppose the weekend, with the celebrations at the weekend, they're playing rugby midweek.
Yeah, that's right. Nothing worse than trying to run with a whole bunch of smoke in the air, isn't it?
No. Chris O'Leary did beautifully in the scrum, in the line out to Vinnie Men. Vinnie Men's got it, the skipper for South Darwin. Lays it back. South Darwin still shy. They're not giving the Fijians much room to move, Casuarina, so it's working nicely.
I think they might have had one eye on the game last week against Palmy because they're not fearing them. They're definitely taking it to those big boys. Oh, the no-look pass.
Oh, bad.
Barely come off.
Yeah. The kick off the ground. Well done, Souths. That was Men. Number 12, the skipper. Inside centre. The knock on is paying advantage here, so Souths have got the penalty.
Oh, bad miss there. Here we go.
Something out of nothing, Damien Subit. And South Darwin within 5 metres of the Casuarina line.
Some good defence.
Out it goes. Tim Chew. Big George lays over the scrum. Here we go. A belly. Scored the try. Out wide. 2 on 1.
No.
Easy as you like. Rapata. Tim Chew. Big George lays over the scrum. Here Here we go. A belly. Scored the try. Out wide. 2 on 1. Easy as you like. Apart and did it easily.
Yeah, he's played 1%ers right. Catch and pass.
10-0. Kick to come. A belly. Left of centre. This will suit the right footer.
Yep, that natural left curve. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Kicking to the McMillan's Road end, for those that know Rugby Park in Darwin. Just see the traffic in McMillan's Road. Oh, absolute Barry Crocker. He might be relieved of duties. That was awful, wasn't it? So he's missed a couple of conversions.
I think that's a carton at training.
2 tries to 0. South lead 10-0, 16 minutes into the first half.
It's a bit like your golf swing, Butters, I think.
I reckon it would be, yep. I don't play golf anymore, that's why. He's still playing rugby.
Yeah. Regathered again. They got their restarts right. Cougars.
Yep. Samika Sala. Head down. Away we go. Out the back. Chris Nurse, number 7. Here's our man. What's going on here? So the knock on by Casuarina?
Thought there might have been a slight knock on there.
South Darwin.
South ball.
Cooker. Or is they going to take the scrum? Do they get the option there?
Yeah, every knock on's a scrum.
Strange to see the half back in number 5.
Oh, the jerseys these days, they're too small.
That seems to be an issue, yeah, so they don't even know which...
it is for me. I look like a prop running around in the fullback jersey. Bit of a tummy. Yeah, you might find local grades, they swap the numbers around.
That's why Big George Edwards is wearing 24. It's the highest number, the biggest jersey. Sorry, George. Damien Subert told me to say that. Cooker to feed the scrum for Souths.
Great scrum.
So what was the key there? Just the forward push by Casuarina?
Yep. I haven't spent a lot of time in the scrums, but when you get your push right all together at the same time, that's what happens. The other team just couldn't deal with it.
Yeah.
It's not so much about size, I guess. It's more technique, and Cougars got it spot on there.
And Zach Phillips, of course, always spot on. And so now, from defending, they're pushing within 20 metres of the South Darwin line. Andrew Stevens to feed the line out for the Cougars. Well done. Nurse gets it out wide. Phillips almost in. Oh, he sliced through beautifully there. That was Jack Rutherford. The dummy out wide again. Phillips. That's Zach Phillips. Samika Sala showing some strength. You're right, Damien Subert.
Yeah, there's that mongrel.
Yeah, my word. The don't argue, as they say. The push off. 10 minutes till half time. Cougars really need to score.
Oh.
There's the knock on. So they're set up, all dressed up, nowhere to go.
Spent his money before he earned it there, I think.
I reckon he did. The bank manager won't be happy with him at all. at the scrum. Cooker to feed the scrum for South Darwin. Well inside their defensive territory. So win the scrum and kick, Damien, from there?
Yeah, definitely. You want to clear it out of your 22. Although they might send some of these big boys one-on-one with the backs and get a couple of phases going. Yeah, definitely. When you got that strike power, you may as well use it.
Yeah, sure. Cooker feeds the scrum. Gee, that's against David Boyle. The most untidy scrum you'll ever see. Here we go, Cacao. Taken by about 3 Cougar defenders.
Yeah, great leg. Great leg.
And Jake Ranger making sure they can't have the quick play the ball. Well done to him. So working as a unit. Well done, Souths. Closing in on half time. 9 minutes. Gone from defence to offence in a very short period of time.
What they do here, they'll try and attack the line out and win it against with this field position. Look for the jumpers to try and spoil the ball.
Andrew Stevens to feed the line out for Cougars on the 22. Rapata. Pasika. The big kick. Surprise, surprise. Setafano, Cacao. Tend to forget that there's the advantage. So, go for the points?
Yeah, I would.
Not going to, are they? Billy Byrne?
10-0, nah, bit of time left still. Try and get a point, try out of it.
Peter Pauly to feed the line out for South Darwin. Look for Chris O'Leary, number 8. He's the tallest in the scrum. It goes over him. But they've got it back. Rapata, try scorer, earlier.
Well, they're lucky there. They've fumbled a few line-outs, but...
And a belly fumbled as well.
Yeah.
Not quite sure what's going on. He's just run into a brick wall, a blue and white wall. Back out. Billy Byrne, number 10. Cooker, out to Byrne, wide to Ranger. Ranger one way, then the other. Goes outside, tackled, wonderful. Probably got a bootlace to it. No, he knocked it on according to the ref. Yep. Good defence, Cougars. About 6 minutes.
Somewhat lost their way a bit there.
They have, yep.
Looking for
There's no definite advantage in the line. I mean, you look at Wise Sekatoa and Ryan Oakley. I know we're getting back to Pirates, but you could throw them a kitchen sink and they'd still get it in the line out because they've got beautiful set play, whereas neither Cougars or Souths seem to have the line out worked out, I don't reckon.
Yeah, they've got a nice set of tall timbers there.
Yep.
Very hard to go against in the line outs, especially.
The scrum. Ryan McMurray to feed the scrum for Cougars. Used to see McMurray on the wing. Samika Sala, another one, a bit of a speedster. Ryan McMurray a speeds, but now wearing the number 9. He's got a fair tutor in Sam Batty.
Yep.
McMurray gets it out. Phillips kicks around the body. And again, kicked defensively, kicked beautifully. And again, Scott Murray that time from Cougars. Make sure no quick play the ball.
Yep. Switched off a little bit here, South.
Who did you blokes play on the weekend? Last weekend? Oh, you played Pirates, didn't you? That's right,
Pirates,
of course, yeah. I'm just thinking who Cougars played, or Souths played Palmerston, so Cougars must have played Swampdogs. So,
yeah,
with due respect, maybe they've had the easier run.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of a blowout.
Yeah, because certainly have South stopped, or have the Cougars got some momentum and got some system?
Yeah, I think in this game in particular, having that loss last week, I think they're trying to overplay their hand and make sure they get the win. I mean, they're still up 10-0.
Yeah, we
Plenty of
forget,
rugby to
don't we?
go,
Yeah.
looks like they're just panicking a bit.
Closing in on half-time, McMurray gets it out. Sells the dummy, big Pasika. McMurray again. Out wide. Ooh, he had the opportunity, didn't he? Just inside there. Maybe the voice wasn't there, Damien. McMurray. They've got to work hard now in defence, South Darwin, because it's just pick and go, isn't it?
Yep, straight up the middle.
Eric Erickson.
The big boy stuff.
Yep. Gee, they're doing it beautifully.
Doing it really well.
McMurray.
And then they'll go wide, no. Taking it back in, go again. Trying to suck in the defence so we can go wide.
The time it's Chris Nurse.
Oh, they've gone the blind. It's
changes out to Phillips. Phillips outside and beautifully done. Just so beautifully done. Scott Murray. He was the recipient.
Good wingers try. Trying to suck in the defence so we can go wide.
The time it's Chris Nurse.
Oh, they've gone the blind. It's
changes out to Phillips. Phillips outside and beautifully done. Just so beautifully done. Scott Murray. In with a couple of minutes to go. Kick to come. 10-5. Now I would back from here, left field, Zach Phillips. What's that? I mean, he's on a very acute angle.
He's taken it back a good 25 metres.
So fancies himself distance-wise, obviously.
Yeah, he's a
So what do you do, Damien?
I
mean, have you got a set distance you like when you?
I usually kick from around the 22.
Right.
Just gives it that chance to curl a bit, but.
So you like to be able to curl, particularly if you're left, being a right footer.
Yeah.
Darwin Dragons full back, Damien Subert.
And
as we picked it, and 10-7
over the black dot, I think.
Zach Phillips. Yep. But you like to give yourself enough distance if you need to curl it around.
Yeah, yep. Yeah. Take into account the wind, etc.
Oh, of course, yeah.
It's pretty still at the moment, so it's pretty
in
direct.
In the afternoon play here, you've got the sea breeze coming from the north.
Yeah, definitely.
So kicking into it, tough gig.
It is, very tough. As a kicker, you don't look. There's no pressure on the wide kicks. It's more the ones in front.
That you should get.
Are the harder
so
ones.
You can say, I was wide and I was a long way out. That's the old kicker syndrome. Yeah.
I've missed a few from near in front.
Always got the excuse,
over my time.
And really you shouldn't. It's a bit like the AFL. The one thing they haven't improved over 150 years is set shots.
Yep.
Casuarina making the break.
Cougars might be in trouble here, not releasing. No.
Out to Vinny Men goes inside, but goes to no one. They're actually throwing speculators.
Yeah, they are. Sevens rugby style.
Yep. George Edwards, get out of my way. Takes 3 with him. It's slow to get up, Big George.
Micah might be hurt. He stayed down.
Helmet off.
Threw everything at him.
He did. The biggest man on the field, and Samika, not the biggest, and a belly. No, that's Cacao, isn't it?
Yep.
Setafano, Cacao, the reigning Eric Johnson medalist, and the quick, back you come.
That's it.
So we thought Cougars, and we were praising Cougars, but they just let South stroll through. So 15-7, kick to come for Souths. And I wonder if a belly will take it after his last effort.
I think the front row might get it.
Yeah, well, a belly's back near the middle. That might be Jake. Is that
Jake Ranger? Yeah.
Jake? Is it? Dallas.
No.
Jake is 14. This is Dallas.
Yeah.
It didn't last long, a belly. Converted one, missed the other one.
He's rushed it, but
and kicked it across the face.
Yeah.
So I reckon we'll go in at half time. 15-7. We should have the half time whistle. No, we're still going.
I think the official score's 40 seconds to go.
Yeah, that's the official. Yeah, the official time. We're just approximate, Damien.
Yep.
We don't stop the clock.
Approximate's better than nothing at all.
Yeah, well, it is. We don't stop the clock. There was an injured player, and I imagine the referee stopped the clock.
Yep. He's back on his feet. The headgear's back on, so he must have just got a stinger.
Embarrassing if you. Well, it's not embarrassing if you can't stop George Edwards.
Hats off to him. Like I said, he threw everything at him.
He did indeed. Nice kick, Phillips. On the attack, Cougars. The defence now. Working hard. Philip O'Shea. What do? They should go for the line and just maintain the 15-7 lead. South Darwin. South have got the possession. Cooker gets it back. Big George. Don't argue. 1, 2, 3, 4. And he made 5 metres. Well done. They're going for it. This is Ranger. Jake Ranger gets pushed back, and it's Samika's.
Draw the penalty.
A belly.
He's gone for another speculator. I probably knew he had the advantage there.
Yeah. So Cooker will kick for touch. Will this attract the whistle?
Yep. So he's kicked to himself a penalty kick and then kicked out.
So half time at Rugby Park. South leading. Casuarina 15-7. We'll be back when the second half starts.
Threw everything at him.
He did. The biggest man on the field, and Samika, not the biggest, and a belly. No, that's Cacao, isn't it?
Yep.
Setafano, Cacao, the reigning Eric Johnson medalist, and the quick, back you come.
That's it.
So we thought Welcome back to Rugby Park. The second half about to get underway. Half time, it is Souths leading 15-7, 3 tries to 1. Souths haven't managed a conversion yet. Souths, of course, keen to win. They lost their first game last week. Palmerston beat them 32-24, so they were singularly unimpressive last week. A bit more impressive this week. Big George Edwards up front. Takes 3 or 4. Beautiful kick. Casuarina, poised. Inside Zach Phillips. The push and the shove, they've lost it. I'm not sure about this. The knock on. And the knock on by Casuarina. So close to the South's line, 15-7. Set the scrum. Cooker to feed the scrum for Souths. Right on the Casuarina line. Chris Pasika pushing. Big forwards pushing. The kick for touch. That by Cacao. Eased the pain a little bit for South Darwin. For the Cougars. And joining me with the expert comments, Stephanie Wolf. Steph, I saw you at the South Darwin huddle. Any injuries there to speak of?
Sorry, but I'm just getting my breath back from running up the stairs. There's a few little niggly ones, but nothing too serious.
A quick change around from Saturday to Wednesday night. How does that affect the players?
I think they're pretty happy with it. It was a quick turnaround, and we had quite a few things to improve on Saturday's game. So it looks like they boys had a very hard training session last night, and they've taken away what they could from that.
Sounds like you should have done the training session, Stephanie
know,
Wolf.
just
Is running up the
stairs.
steps as South Darwin pushing, Casuarina pushing, South Darwin defending grimly. Right on the South Darwin line. Casuarina.
Yeah, we certainly don't want to be in this area.
No, we certainly don't. Look, Zach Phillips, one way, then the other, goes over. I'm sure that was Zach Phillips.
Yeah, I think it was actually.
So Zach Phillips, and he will kick for his own conversion. Takes the score 15-12, South Darwin.
Yeah, we certainly don't want to be in this area.
No, we certainly don't. Look, Zach Phillips, one way, then the other, goes over. I'm sure that was Zach Phillips.
Yeah, I think it was.
And Zach Phillips, I'm sure his mum and his whole family, they'll have that and they'll wrap that up. 15-12, kick to come, Phillips to convert his own try. And again, being the right footer left of centre, it helps, doesn't it?
That's what they tell me.
You've seen enough rugby and played enough rugby to know that that's right.
I was never a very good kicker though.
We had Damien Subert up here in the first half, and he says he likes to be back behind the 22, so if he's left of centre, so he can curl it around. But Zach Phillips, he will go straight over the black dot. But the setup's beautiful every time. Doesn't matter whether he's in front, out wide. The setup's wonderful, and it did sail over the black dot, and that makes the game very, very interesting. A 1-point ball game. South leading 14-12, and we are 4 minutes into the second half. So Cougars have jumped out now, and after not a hiding last week, but South Darwin down last week, and a tough training run last night, maybe they're going to run out of legs, Souths.
Well, hopefully not. Hopefully it's still time. So I think after that little break for half time, a bit of a pep talk, I think the boys will be all right, come back.
Cacao. See, some of Abelli's kicking was pretty ordinary, wasn't it? And normally he's better than that. And it's come off. He's going to score. The big man, that Philip O'Shea.
No, that's not actually. That's actually Hayden. He's returning from injury. He's it's about his second or third game in. He's actually doing quite well.
Hayden Summers.
Yeah, recovering from a niction.
Big George Edwards.
Oh, yeah.
Out the back, Cooker. Ooh, almost the fumble. Here we go. And he's been very, very good, Chris O'Leary.
Yeah, Chris has been playing really good tonight, actually. Yeah, he's made some really good hit-ups, some really good tackles.
And works beautifully in the line-out, doesn't he? I mean, he's the taller. He'd be South's tallest player.
I think he's close to it.
Try.
Oh, looks like that's over. I didn't quite see who got that. But
We'll get that. We'll get a replay on that, I reckon. And we'll get a nice close-up on that. But Souths have hit back once again. And very, very good, Chris O'Leary.
Yeah, Chris has been playing really good tonight, actually. Yeah, he's made some really good hit-ups, some really good tackles.
And works beautifully in the line-out, doesn't he? I mean, he's the taller. He'd be South's tallest player.
I think he's close to it.
Try.
Oh, looks like that's over. I didn't quite see who got that. But
We'll get that. We'll get a replay on that, I reckon.
I think it might have... Actually, you know what? I think it might have even been Chris. After
Chris
just mentioning
O'Leary?
how well he's been playing. I think it might have been.
Too late, she cried. We're not going to have another replay,
No.
so we'll have to find it. So you've got to work that out, don't you?
I do,
Give it
yeah.
to Chris O'Leary, if you reckon that's who it was. And a kick to come. Who's
That looks like Jakey Ranger taking the kick now. He's taking that off a belly or setter.
We
Yeah.
normally see Jake.
So Jake actually has a bit of a spell from...
Jake, is it?
Yeah, I think pretty sure that is Jake, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that's Jake. He's had a bit of a spell from kicking, but been slotted back in, so hopefully he makes this one.
So 14-20, kick to come. He was
It's
confident,
nicely
wasn't he?
over.
As
He
soon as it
was.
left the boot, he bent down to pick up the tee. 22-14, South's leading, and we are 7 minutes into the second half. So just what the doctor ordered, wasn't it? After the Cougars got the first try, and the conversion by Zach Phillips.
Yeah, I think the first half seemed like a bit rushed, and it seems like both teams have calmed down a bit now, maybe because they're a bit more tighter.
7 minutes in, 22-14 Souths. So what's been the scuttlebutt today? Were they disappointed after last week? Did they realise that they were outplayed, or what was the story?
Yeah, I think they took away some good points from that game. It was quite a awakening, I think. They realised that they have got a bit of work to do, and of course nothing comes easy, so they certainly all put in last night.
And maybe a monkey off the back, because it's hard to go through a season undefeated.
Oh, definitely.
And how often do you go through undefeated and lose the big one?
Exactly.
So they've tasted success, they've tasted defeat. Ryan McMurray kicks. Will it go?
That's Vinny.
No, it won't. Vinny Men flips it out. Cacao kicks to his own advantage. Collision here. Well done, Zach Phillips. It was clever, I think. I'm not
Probably a wise choice, that one.
Yeah. Well done.
I guess he couldn't really do anything else with that one. But
Well,
it
he
worked out
couldn't,
quite
but
good.
whether he went for touch, I don't know. But he doesn't do too much wrong, does he?
No, exactly.
So to feed the scrum, Peter Pauly for South Darwin. And we expect Chris O'Leary, the big number 8, the tall number 8, to do some work in the line out. There he goes, over his head. And in fact, against the scrum, Ryan McMurray, the Kaz halfback, gets it out to Phillips. A couple inside Pasika, gets it inside Sala. Probably the wrong option there, but Casuarina on the attack. 20 metres out from the south line. It's a good view using the screen. Pasika gets it wide, and the scrum the line out to be fed by Souths again. They made a mess of the last one. Take 2, almost the same position.
Yeah, it is almost the same.
Just
position.
inside their 22.
Again.
Cooker.
Better result, that one.
Yeah. Ryan McMurray gets it inside. Shane Crowley. Murray again. Samika Sala out wide, but they've let the turnover. Well done, Samika Sala. The penalty will go to Souths. The knock-on. It ain't pretty rugby, Stephanie Wolf.
No, it's not tonight actually, but yeah. It's actually quite a humid night, and I think they're quite sweaty out there.
Oh,
so I didn't.
they're
I'm not that-
Darwinites.
That's
It's not
true.
humid.
It's humid for the dry season.
Yeah. See Andrew Stevens coming on. He'll pack in the scrum. Number 18 there for Casuarina. Going to the front row. Cooker to feed the scrum. Watini.
That is Watini.
Watini Cooker. Played well tonight. Hasn't been his normal Setafano cacao. Just doesn't seem to have the spark that I normally see of him. And he's lost the ball, knocked it on. So, fair comment?
Yeah, I think that was fairly justified. Yeah, I think sometimes he likes to sit back and have a little look and, let the guys have a good run.
Sure.
So that tonight might be one of those nights.
Well, and I due credit to Casuarina because they're really putting some pressure on South
Yeah,
Darwin.
they are, actually.
South's leading 22-14. 11 minutes into, or 12 minutes into the second half. McMurray, no he won't. Pasika, feeds McMurray. Kick by Crowley. Crowley kick and chase. And Cacao. Will leave the ball and it'll be Big Paulie, I'm sure, to feed the scrum. Can't get any taller than Chris O'Leary. But they're mucking it up.
They are. It seemed to just not happening tonight.
This time.
That was straight to...
Yeah. The kick. Made about 20 metres there. Was that Jakey?
I think that might have been Billy Burns, actually.
Oh, it was, yep.
Yeah,
Billy
I think that
Burns,
could-
yep.
Obviously not as well as he'd liked, but...
He's got a mop of hair, hasn't he? Andrew Stevens it'll be to feed the line out for the Cougars. Let's see how they go here. Right over the back. In fact, that's been Burns it is. Burns has the ball, taken to ground. High. Penalty. Paying the advantage. Burns again. Bring it back. It didn't warrant yellow card or anything. It was a sort of accidental high, but good refereeing.
Yeah, that was actually quite a good pickup.
So it'll be Souths. So that's Billy Byrne. Is it Byrne or Burns? Burns.
You know what? I've always just called him Billy Burns, but it could be either. Burns sounds better for a nickname, so let's go with that.
Okay. So it'll be Souths. Big Peter Paulie just taking his time. They've got to wait for him to get to the line to feed the line out. It's a big man, isn't he?
He's quite a tough man too, I think.
Yes.
Doesn't ever give up.
Lovely feed of the scrum. O'Leary made some metres. There they go, Cooker. Halfway, South Darwin on the move. Out the back, Cooker waiting for it. On the move. So what's the indication there?
That That was not releasing. Think that's what it was.
Yep.
Is that what it was? Yeah, I
Looked
think that
like
was
it, yep.
David Boyle, which is unlike him, one of our former Eric Johnson medalists.
Well, he still is an Eric Johnson medalist, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a former
He'll
one, but
always,
yes,
he'll
that's
always
right,
be
yeah.
an Eric Johnson medalist.
He will indeed.
It's a bit of a trap, isn't it? You know, there are former captains and former players, but Eric Johnson medalists will always be Eric
That's
Johnson
true.
medalists.
Yes. Should have said former winner.
Yes.
Maybe that's the
maybe.
right way
Yeah.
to say it.
Let's be
You're
precise. Let's be precise.
Speaking grammatically correct.
Big Chris Paseka gets it out to McMurray.
Nice hit
Oh,
by
the
Belly.
defence, yeah, a belly. That's about his. Oh, he scored the first try, I reckon.
He did, yes.
Yep, but that's about his only contribution tonight. Normally we see him flying and slicing through. It's easy to be critical, particularly when they play well every week,
Exactly.
isn't it? And when they don't play
right.
well, it stands out like a sore thumb. And it's a bit mean, I suppose. Billy Byrne, a man with a nice mop of black hair on his head and on his chin, and makes plenty of metres.
That's quite nice.
Big Peter Pauly, here he comes. He almost takes up the screen himself on our monitor. But he'll play the 80 minutes, I reckon. And, and good luck to him too. Oh, well done.
Good.
Short.
Short pass to Dwayne. Another not releasing.
Yeah.
Is that something else you might have to practice at training?
It seems to be the one, doesn't it? Don't release when you're in there. So this time, McMurray, of course, passes it to Zach Phillips, as is his want and as is everyone's want if you're in a blue and white hoop jersey, because Zach Phillips is the premier when it comes to kicking precisely. No clear favourites in the line-out, Steph. It just seems that it's almost pot luck
Yeah, it does appear that way.
that time.
But it is quite nice and clean. So
Yeah, Chris Nurse for Casuarina. At the back, Paseka. He'll get it. Number 8 with the helmet, Chris Paseka. And number 9 with the helmet, lurking, Ryan McMurray. Paseka pushing at the back of the scrum. There we go to McMurray. McMurray inside and Phillips drops it. First mistake he's made in 7 years of rugby.
Come on, buddies.
Okay, the second.
Let's say 44 minutes. No. How many minutes are we in?
18 minutes in, South leading 22-14. Got to get a bit of a hurry up now, Cougars, if they want to get some points in this game.
Looks like we've got an interchange.
Hayden Summers coming back on.
It looks like Hayden and Craig Bailey, and that was Philip O'Shea off, and looks like Peter Pauly is having a break.
Oh no!
Big man has
my man.
Probably been told to have a little break.
He's slow getting off the ground as he is to get to the line out, isn't he? Doesn't do anything in a hurry.
Poorly time.
Out they come. Nice kick. Billy Byrne. Precise. Oh, was that on the full?
I didn't actually see that. Must have been.
The replay might tell us that. Out they come. Nice kick. Billy Byrne. Precise. Oh, was that on the full?
I didn't.
We got the line out. Once again, that's Chris Nurse. Took it in the line out. Paseka gets it out to Jack Rutherford. There's big Big Hayden. No, that's Big George. He's actually done all right tonight, George Edwards. He's been very strong.
That's Vinny having a run.
Craig Bailey, number 17. Knock on by Casuarina. It's getting a bit willing now. I think that Casuarina can see that they can, in fact, win this game, and South's sensing, I think, that Casuarina are lifting, and so both teams getting a bit more willing.
Yeah, it does appear that way.
Started off in a bit of a stroll, ho-hum yawn, but now, as we reach almost the 20-minute mark of the second half, with 20 minutes to go, so we're three-quarter mark of the game, South leading 22-14. So a bit more, of course, than a converted try for Casuarina, but a converted try would put awful pressure on South Darwin. Coming off their first loss. Cack out, not a very good pass, put a huge amount of pressure on Byrne. Byrne's pass was equally poor. Out to a belly slicing through. That's more the belly that we know and admire.
That is, yes.
He runs in a strange fashion. It's just sort of short steps, a belly. He's hard. Quite a style that now who we're going to have again. It'll be Andrew Stevens to feed the line out. He went a bit early. In fact, a poor work at the line out once again, this time by Casuarina. Byrne inside to David Boyle.
Yeah.
Cooker. Quick play the ball. Gets it to Vinny Men, the skipper. Men. He made 10 metres there. Well done to him. He's a bulldog, isn't he? Craig Bailey, the big man for Souths, on the interchange. Worked well. Kick off the ground. Back to Men. He lost it and he went back, but the Casuarina bloke was a bit tardy and he ran into the football, and that was David Toei Falau.
Good run by Jakey Ranger.
The Jakey?
Just taken out there.
Yeah. So the tackle was high, according to the referee.
A bit high, so he's pulled that up. He's being quite strict tonight.
Well,
with
in
those
fact,
high
and
tackles,
very consistent. So that's all you ask for, isn't it?
Exactly. That's exactly what we ask for.
But if he can't see if he's on the inside, then he's got to get the support from his touchy on the outside. That's why there's one on the inside, one on the outside. The touchy and the referee have got to communicate. Ball goes back to Byrne. I'm sorry. I've got Jake Ranger on the brain. He hasn't played a lot of rugby this year, has he?
He has had a little bit of a break, but he's been playing. He's been playing a few B grades.
Okay.
And, just stepped it up tonight. But
is that work or is that just?
I think it's a mixture of work and personal circumstances, and I think he's been having a few games of league as well.
Oh goodness! I wish they'd stop doing that. Drives me insane.
Yeah.
I mean, it used to be okay when the seasons were reversed, wasn't it?
Exactly. It was great.
Because you could play rugby, you could play league, and you could play rugby, proper rugby, rugby union.
Yeah, you could play rugby all year round. It was fantastic.
Exactly right. And I used to know blokes that played rugby, and you didn't need to differentiate because you knew in the wet season it was rugby union, and in the dry season rugby league.
This is young Dallas.
Dallas, go Dallas, foot down. I reckon that might be the straw that broke the camel's back. So what's his name, Dallas?
That's Dallas Penitito, I think. Don't know how to pronounce his last name, but I know it's Dallas. Good run by him.
But we know the try down the right-hand side, the winger. That'll make it 27-14. It was rugby union, and in the dry season rugby league.
This is young Dallas.
Dallas, go Dallas, foot down. I reckon that might be the straw that broke the camel's back. So what's his name, Dallas?
That's Dallas Penitito, I think. It didn't look like they had many players down there, so it was quite a good area to run for.
Well, in fact, it was, and he read it beautifully. And
Here we are. We have got Jake kicking again, so that's good.
Ranger.
I think that he should get this one from here. He's normally right on point with his kicking as well.
Well, a right footer, right of centre, it makes it a little bit more difficult. But normally he was a bit of a dead eye. Jake Ranger to add the extras. 27-14 Souths. Ranger, you've picked it well, Stephanie.
Oh,
no, you
right on the
mucked it up.
post. It's close. I thought he would have got that one. He's normally right on point with those ones, but
27-14.
I'm going to blame that rugby league.
Yeah, good on you. Good on you.
Maybe he
Stop
hasn't been
playing
kicking
rugby
there.
league, Jacob Ranger. He'd have spent a few more training sessions over at Warren Park with South Darwin Rugby. Who does he play rugby league for, do you know?
I think it is rugby. I think he plays for league for Souths as well.
Oh, all right. Well,
So,
that's
we do share that ground.
okay,
So
yeah. David Boyle. David Boyle seems to have been playing forever.
he has. He's had a bit of a break actually, but he's one of those great consistent players. So
Did
it's
he
always
win
good to
a?
have him.
Did he win a Eric Johnson? He's the one, isn't he?
He is.
He is
He
indeed.
did. Yes,
yeah.
that's the one that I.
And I
said
think it was a
before.
surprise too, because I think I might have interviewed him and he couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
He's
he's
a very. Well, he's not an outwardly going
no, he's
young
not
man.
actually. He's not at all. He's quite a humble
And
man.
is he of Irish descent?
He is. I think his accent is. He's lost a bit of his accent since he's been here because it does feel like he's been here for a while.
Yeah.
He's kind of a fixture at Souths now.
I can remember
But
him winning, and I did actually interview him.
He's just one of those good, consistent players. I think you can't go wrong with him being out there.
And
He's
so
a
that's
reliable.
attracted the referees to an extent. I mean, he must have had a good season because
Yeah.
every week play well, get 1, 2 or 3 votes. I can't remember whether he. I don't think he won comfortably. I think it was. A low count, and he won it. But because he was so consistent, it was a deserving win, without
Yeah.
any doubt. So, Souths defending their line. Stephanie, you should be down there looking for the football. You do everything else.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to sit up here and watch the game without any distraction.
No pressure. Yeah. Well, there will be pressure because you thought Jake Ranger would convert that try and
Yes,
he didn't.
that's
So,
I'll have to have a word to him.
yeah, well, that's right. Is that sort of a carton?
Maybe.
Big push, Casuarina. Casuarina still in control.
Given the penalty to
Casuarina ball. And the quick play the ball, the referee wasn't ready. Come back here. You sometimes think a quick play the ball, and if the referee hasn't organised himself, it's not quick play the ball, it was a waste of time. So what are we going to do here? We just have the tap and get the big blokes?
Yeah, I don't know. Like just then they went for the quick run, but yeah,
Go for the scrum.
I think they might look at that.
Ryan McMurray to feed the scrum for the Cougars. Just over 10 minutes to go. South leading 27-14. So to state the bleeding obvious, Stephanie Wolf, they need a try and they need a conversion, don't they?
They do. Yeah, I mean, it's a nice lead, but it's not a really comfortable one, is it really, when you think there's 11 and a half minutes to go?
Yeah. I mean, 2 tries can be scored.
That's right. That's all it needs. Looks like we have Tommy Asioli down. He's actually just played a full game of B grade and now he's backing up for A grade. So looks like he's suffering some kind of little leg injury.
Maybe cramp. What's he working on there? We're working on the...
Looks like it could be, but maybe an ankle.
If he's done a hamstring, it's a huge hamstring because he's a big man too,
is.
isn't he? Oh, he's limping off.
Yep. Looks like we had a replacement, Peter Pawley, replacing Tommy Asioli on the sideline there.
Like for like, I reckon.
Definitely.
27-14, scrum. Right within 5 metres of the South Darwin line. Casuarina to feed the scrum through the agents of Ryan McMurray, I think. Yep. Young man with the helmet. Here we go, we've had the clock stopped. Clock's running again.
Looks like they might try and do
Well,
that.
they're going well, aren't they?
Try
McMurray
and push
sniffing
that.
out the back.
Oh.
Pasika couldn't get over. The Casuarina forwards are working beautifully. Almost a set play. He's over, I reckon.
Looks like that was over.
No?
That looked pretty close though.
Yeah. Stop the clock. Penalty Casuarina, I think. He's going to have a chat here.
Not sure what that was for.
Cooker.
I've missed that one.
The halfback. I know. Right. Well, David Boyle seemed to be the player there that.
He is
Earned
a
the
co-captain
wrath.
with Vinny, so yeah, he
Oh, okay.
he
So
might
it's
have
just
got the
talking to the
talking to.
captain.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm guessing. Yeah.
Yeah. So he and Vinny joint captain.
Yeah, as far as I know, yeah.
Vinny Men, David Boyle. So we've got a Frenchman and an Irishman.
Yes, we have. Who would have thought?
Yeah, who would have? And who cares?
It's all rugby, isn't it?
It is indeed. Who cares? Ryan McMurray to feed the scrum. And look at what Watini Cooker hovering there, waiting for McMurray to muck it up. The referee will have none of that. And we'll set once again. Keep an eye on Watini Cooker. If you're watching on the screen, he's the man. Hands on hips just to the left of Ryan McMurray, who has the ball. The halfback for the Cougars. And Cooker, the halfback for South Darwin. They've had a succession of halfbacks this year, haven't they, South Darwin? The break, back. Chris Pasika, he's had a mountain of a game tonight for Casuarina, the big number 8 with the helmet. That's McMurray. Zach Phillips scored a try. Not this time. Taken down. Good defence, South Darwin. Pasika. There's the wheelbarrow.
Trying to get out.
What's he doing this time? Now this time.
Oh.
We've got the yellow card.
Reaching into his pocket.
Which one?
That sort of like, I'm guessing from there, maybe that was just the final infringement that, broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
That seems to be occurring of late. So,
So who got the march?
That looks like Chris O'Leary there, but I didn't actually see what it was for. Maybe it was what he'd mentioned to
It
David
might have
Boyle
been the
earlier.
straw that broke the camel's
That's
back.
right.
The referee said, look, in fact, they've been camped on their defensive line, South Darwin, and so they'll do anything they can. 22-14, 7 minutes to go. There's still time for a couple of tries, which is what, in fact, 2 converted tries will give Cougars the win.
It will.
How's that for arithmetic?
That's
We're
great.
on school holidays too.
We are. Let's hope with 7 minutes to go that, I
Yeah.
mean, we know it's achievable, but let's hope.
Ryan McMurray, Pasika, look at this. He has been a mountain, as I said earlier. Just no support. McMurray, the turnover. Ooh, I reckon we might have another yellow card. No, he's not going for the pocket this time.
No, he wasn't. It looked like that was not rolling away, maybe.
And there's no point kicking for the
No, it's not gonna get
the
them
penalty.
anywhere, is it, really?
No, they need 2 converted tries, as we said. They need 14 points
That's right.
in 6 and a bit minutes. Good workout for South Darwin, though, on their line.
Definitely.
It's been very, very good. It's a big front row. There's a huge front row, South Darwin. We've got Hayden Summers, Peter Pawley, and I can't see the other bloke.
I think that's George Edwards.
Well, if it's George Edwards, it is a huge
Pretty
front
sure
row.
he's back. And there we go. Oh, just made space out there.
Shane Crowley, I think, as he's done so often. It is Shane Crowley. And just well done. Just very patient, I reckon, Casuarina there.
I think they definitely were, because we seem to be down there quite a while. So
Pawley, and I can't see the other bloke.
I think that's George Edwards.
Well, if it's George Edwards, it is a huge
Pretty
front
sure
row.
he's back. And there we go. Oh, just made space out there.
Shane Crowley, I think. Zach Phillips needs to convert this. As we said, 2 converted tries. That takes him 19-27. 5.5 minutes. Maybe there's some more rugby in this game yet. Phillips never misses. He just never misses, except that time.
Yes,
In fact,
he
he
did.
did. So
was
really,
nice.
that's put the cat among the pigeons, hasn't it?
It has. So that's going to need maybe that penalty after all.
It's 19-27. Our 19-27 it is. I can't reset the score. So we just need to change that score to 19-27. We've got 20-27, and it's not should be 19-27, and we'll get that done.
Oh, yep.
Souths now, but they're right into the field for them, pressuring the Casuarina line. So we need a little bit more than a converted try now. Stephanie, a belly. It's been buried. They'll need the front end loader to dig him out. At the back, Watini Cooker, been strong all night. I've loved his game. Gets it out to Timmy Chew. With the turnover, Casuarina have had it. They might have lost this. No, it was knocked down according to the referee. Pasika, out to Phillips. Phillips just decides to run. Nowhere to go. They're set up pretty nicely defensively, South Darwin, with 3.5 minutes to go. They lead 27-19, and they've attracted the penalty. The referee's been good on the ball. And with a little bit of frustration, Zach Phillips. Kids at the rugby. Love seeing kids at the rugby. There's a future women's rugby player and a future one for the men. We're going to have to wait a while though, I think. And we have the scrum just that 5 metres into Casuarina territory. Over the back, Watini Cooker. My man of the match. I reckon he's been terrific. The halfbacks, they get plenty of opportunities, don't they? There we go. That time was Chris Nurse for Casuarina. So it's showing some urgency, Casuarina, which they need to do. Phillips kicks for touch. Can't do much about that. Nice kick. They've got a score here.
Yeah, we just have to remember that South is still 1 man down, so
They are indeed. Yep. Yep.
that certainly gives them good chances.
Josh Phillips to feed the line out for the Cougars as we close in on full time. A couple of minutes. They need 8 points. So a converted try is not enough. Can I be bold enough to say South's back on the winning list after losing their first game last week? Phillips on the run around. Away he goes. Held
Good
up.
run by Josh.
It was a good run. Set play, I would suggest. Cougars pushing. Pasika, he's the only one that could get through there, Chris Pasika for Casuarina. But Souths have attracted the penalty, and I reckon that might be it. That just about might be the ball game with a minute and a half to go. Souths leading 27-19. Souths to kick for touch from deep in their defensive region. No, we're going to have the scrum. The ball will come out and they'll still kick for touch. It'll come out the back, all things being equal. Just counting the clock down. Watini Cooker, take your time. Fed the scrum, back it comes. Surprise, surprise, and we kick for touch. And that might be it. Siren's gone. The referee will allow Casuarina to feed the line out. No. Josh Phillips once again. Let's see if he tries the run around to set play once again. We've reached full time. It's a bit academic. Souths have spent a lot of time on their line. Some good defence by Souths. They've been wonderful. McMurray gets it out. Here we go. He could cross here. Turn around and put it down. Pasika out wide. I reckon he's lost it forward. No, it's a Casuarina penalty. And the try. So on full time, Casuarina go to 24. Kick to come. The best they can do, of course, is 26. Which he's done. 27-26. Stephanie Wolfe by the barest of margins. South Darwin back on the winning list after losing their first game last week. They defeated Souths, the Rabbitohs, defeated Casuarina Cougars 27-26. Back on the winning list.
That's right. It's good win for tonight.
It was indeed. And Wednesday night rugby at Rugby Park, Marara. It is South Darwin. And that's it from us in commentary. Ian Butterworth, Stephanie Wolfe. Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.